Okay, we are streaming right now. Cool.
Hmm?
Yeah.
Here's your what? No one.
Get rid of
Definitely
that.
wasn't your friendly neighborhood guy right here.
I can't even delete it. I
I
it's not
have
a
unlocked
saved,
the ultimate.
it's not a saved thing.
I deleted it. There you go.
Cool. So I'm gonna do some calculations on money real quick here. Let me just figure out how much money you guys have.
Oh yeah.
And remember, hey Grant.
Sorry, I don't even remember passing out. I worked 12 hours yesterday. I'm sorry.
Hey, well, it's fine. We'll just get going. No destiny point.
I know.
Okay, so let me go ahead here. So let me start the recording. And welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Fallen. This is, I believe, Season 3, Episode 7. Please remember to like and subscribe. We appreciate it. We are once again joined by our lovely cast. We're just going to get straight into it. So, let's see, make sure I summoned everybody to the board. So, Emma hasn't gotten Tailspire yet, but she is playing. So we got Jake playing Uhtred, Ivan playing Sirius. We have Destin being played by Grant, and Elwyn being played by Emma. Okay, cool.
Kind of funny. Sirius playing Sirius.
Sirius playing
Yeah.
Sirius. So, last we left off, we all there was a kind of a lot of things happened last session. So let's do like a
Yes.
little recap. Can anybody remember
Monies.
where we started?
Yes, I do.
Where did we start? And then I'll give the recap.
We
but where,
started in another part of the kind of the wet districts, which is like the slums of Ten City, where the water kind of rises and falls. We were originally tasked out to like kill these people by Dennis, and we made a plan the session before, and we kind of started off with finalizing the plan with these what was her name, Cassandra. I want to say Cassandra, that's probably wrong, but Cynthia maybe, some lady that looked like a tree, and she kind of escaped from Dennis, and we kind of talked to her and kind of agreed like, hey, we'll help go take this guy out. You kind of back us up, mix up this little potion I got, so more people can be invisible. So us, along with another person that was kind of trailing us, he refused to give us his name, so he's unnamed thug level 1.
Ew, he was a level
And
2 thug.
The level two. Kind of went in. We disguised Elwyn to look like the lady, and made it in, and everything was going according to plan until Sirius kind of stepped on a trap and narrowly escaped but killed 2 servants, and Dennis knew something was afoot and kind of began to attack us. He almost killed us all, but Uhtred is big fast boy, so he went in and stopped him from getting off a really good attack, and people were able to dodge out of the way. A fight ensued where Destin Hulk mode killed Dennis. So then we started.
He body slammed him, but actually it was
Yes.
Finocchio that blew off his head.
Yes. And then after that, we kind of all started looting, and then lo and behold, Dennis comes back like a Chad, and basically is about to kill us, and we kind of just run away.
It comes back.
but
Kind of comes back through a kind of strange resurrection process where his skull, where it had been blown apart, like began to fill in with shadows as his like head began to reform. And it's almost similar to what you do, Uhtred, but with shadow instead.
And then he kind of began attacking the group a little bit. Nothing really crazy happened. Destin was still Hulk mode and was kind of fixated on killing him, and then he shadowed away, which kind of leaves the party kind of in his area still, and we now have all the riches and are about to leave.
So,
We got the book too.
actually, you this right now because you guys haven't counted how much money you have. Okay, so first things first. Who here took I believe Finacrio did as well. But who else here dumped out their bag and took a big like pile of fat gold with them?
I did.
Okay,
I
Uhtred
did
did.
not dump my bag, but I filled up the pouch.
I didn't
Okay,
dump out my bag, but I did fill it.
I dumped out my
with
bag
gold.
and took 35 pounds of gold.
Elle,
and,
did you do that as
Assorted
well?
gems.
I believe so.
okay, cool. So we'll deal with that when you guys get the time to count it. So yeah, you guys find yourselves. You've just kind of just narrowly kind of finished this battle here. You guys are inside of Dennis's building here, this temple. This gigantic statue of the bargainer placed prominently. Your Dipper's there with you guys, and you guys are. I think you guys are trying to leave the premises. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. So as you guys begin to move out, you guys kind of approach near the front section. And who's in the front?
I think Elwyn was the first one to start leaving, so it'd probably be her.
Okay, Elwyn,
Okay.
can you we're gonna make a perception check for me. Can you go ahead, tell me what your perception is, I'll roll for you.
Okay, my perception is. Let me get to it. It's 2D. Wait. Okay, so I have 2 slots filled in. So it's 66.
Yes, that sounds right. Cool.
Okay.
Get a 1. Okay,
I
Elwyn.
would say I was behind her too.
Kind of is going you the front of the building, because like you guys are running down this long corridor, you're passing through this big area, this big open area where there's a tree and all this nature. You're kind of just going in the way that you came out. You're kind of in adrenaline mode right now as you begin kind of sprinting. You run around the corner and don't really take the time, because there were guards there before. You don't take the time to stop and like check if they're there. You kind of quickly go around, not like really hearing or seeing anything. But as you come around the corner, you see there are what appear to be 4 to 5 guards on the ground, not moving. What would you like to do?
Okay.
And so as like, and so you're up front, you're probably about like 10 seconds in front of everybody else.
I'll probably just hop over them
Okay,
and
so
continue.
you go ahead and kind of just like you look at these and you just think, oh, fuck, I gotta get out of here, and you begin to kind of just hop over them and keep on moving. Okay, so yeah, what's up?
Can I ascertain how they died? By
Sure.
looking at
So
them?
as you come around the corner, Elwyn, you're already kind of like starting to like walk outside here and look around. Uhtred, you stop and kneel down to one of these bodies. You look at these bodies, and just by turning them over, you see that their faces that probably were once full of like life and vigor are drained of it, and I mean literally drained. Their faces have become almost skeletal as their skin has shrunken up. Their skin has become like pale and pasty, like the life has been sucked straight out of them. Their eyes are just nothing but burning holes. And
Have I
all
seen
of the
something
ones
like this before?
no. Would you go ahead and make me a perception check?
Yes. We're still buffed, right?
You should still be buffed
Okay. Let's see.
because it's not been an hour.
I'm also a perception boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay. You notice that there's like this charred, burning kind of soot around their neck. And they all have the collar on as you look around at all these bodies. And you can, like, as you touch it, you like, there's almost like this, like, black charged residue. And all of these collars, they seem to have like shrunken around their necks, and they're like tightly pinching their necks right now. And as you guys kind of round the corner, and I'm assuming that not just Uhtred is standing and looking at these as kind of Elowen is kind of like looking outside, like looking if the coast is clear. You hear kind of like somebody from a neighboring room go, "Help!"
Can I go to the room and kind of open the door and see what's going on?
He's standing closest to it right now because you step kind of kneel down.
Okay.
Would either be Sirius or Destin, but you could also get up unless they want to do something first.
Okay, Sirius is probably gonna listen in the direction of the sound. It's just coming from a door.
Like to your side, there's a door, and this door, like this big elegant door, it has these it's been engraved with threads of gold, and it kind of depicts what looks to be a man sitting in a golden throne. And you hear smashing on the door. Please help!
Sirius is just gonna kind of look to Destin with like his hand on the door handle, and he's just gonna give him a nod before he opens it quickly with his like sword drawn.
As Sirius does that, Justin like looks to him, just gives him the nod back, and just preps his sword.
As he opens the door, he says, "Stay calm, get down."
As you kind of open up the door here, you see what appears to be 3 people, 2 men, 1 woman, both of Siren descent. They have collars around their necks. You look inside in this room, and you see this hodgepodge of all kinds of arcane and rune crafting material, as you would be familiar with, Sirius, given your uncle. And you look inside and you see all this like equipment used. You see potions littering the table. You see what appears to be these gigantic gigantic what would you call them, distilleries, and they're like, please, as they kind of point behind you, and you see that there's 3 people in front of you that are alive, but you look back and further in the room and you see that there's probably 6 people on the ground dead. One of their eyes still smoking, similar to the bodies that you saw over there, Uhtred, as you guys kind of come over and you like look inside and investigate. And she goes, he's insane. He's gonna, we need to leave here now.
Sirius is gonna quickly eye to make sure there's no more danger, and he's gonna use Hydrocraft to do the unlock trick that he did with level 2 Thug.
Yeah.
Okay, so you begin to kind of like move some water out, begin to like speak these words. As you guys do, Uhtred, you're kind of out there, and you see that the Dipper is kind of like using his knife, and there's like this big, like on like where like the foyer where the stairs come down, like where like the handrails are, right at the base of it. There's one, and where like the beginning it is this giant inlaid diamond, and Dipper's like carving his knife underneath it, trying to pop it up. And as he's not paying attention at all. And you watch, Uhtred, as you guys all hear this, and instantly, in a second, you see Dennis there appear in this black like puff of smoke, and he's gonna look at you, Uhtred, and go, "I told you I'd get you back." And he's gonna wrap his arms around Dipper, who's like intently. Dipper doesn't even get a second to react, but he spins around, and he's gonna smother his like hand over his mouth and grab by his shirt and pull him back. And as he does, first of all, as he appears, Sirius and Destin, as you guys are kind of looking forward, you guys see as the woman, so the woman, not the woman, one of the guys behind this woman, his collar begins to constrict and his eyes begin to burn as he like screams in anguish and begins flailing on the ground, and you see the life sucked out of him. And then what happens is Dennis kind of grabs Dipper and pulls him back, and as he does, he pulls them backwards into this puff of black smoke, and they vanish. And the second guy, he fucking like begins to go over the same thing where his collar begins to like burn into his flesh. His eyes begin to like explode and combust in his head as all of his life is drained from him.
I'm gonna turn to.
And the woman's going,
Sirius
please. And Sirius,
I'm gonna
I
turn
need
to
you. Hold on, this is important.
Sirius and Destin.
Sirius, I need you to go ahead. Make me a sleight of hand check. This is going to be a level. Actually, I won't tell you what the level is. Make me a sleight of hand check.
I'm not very sleighty with my hands, so we'll see how this goes. Oh, okay.
Ooh, critical win, baby!
4. So you realize you don't even know, but instinctually you realize you have to move fast, and as you do, you quickly extend your hand, and water fills up the space between you and her as you plunge your head towards her neck in this this ball of water, and you speak the words Kalake as you unlock the actual metal binding collar as it splits around her neck. And the second you do, not a second later, you see as it begins to fizzle and it pulses with this kind of like runecraft energy, and it begins to sizzle in the water, and the water becomes very warm as you slosh it away from you.
A little too close for comfort. Are you alright?
And so the woman here, she's looking around, and she goes, "Oh my god!" And she just realizes how close she was to dying.
Wait, Destiny, go look around. Did it seem like the guy was dying as a direct result of Dennis using his magic?
I don't understand. Things seem to line up, if that's what you mean. They happened in the exact sequence I told you.
So, I'm gonna turn to Destin and Sirius.
And guys, Dipper is gone.
I'm going to tell them, we need to get the fuck out of here. He just got Dipper. We need to fucking talk.
Is the collar that I
go.
just unlocked?
As I'm gonna walk
up
towards
and carry?
Elwyn.
Is it safe to pick up and carry? I would say after it steams in the water a bit, it's rather hot right now, but you let it cool. If you cooled it in the water, you would assume that you could carry it.
Okay, Sirius is gonna try and cool that collar as quickly as possible and take it as evidence to hopefully help some people or find a way to at least take care of Dennis in the future.
You can add runecrafted collar to your inventory.
All right.
It weighs 1 pound.
I'm running towards Elwyn. And kind of peeking my head out, kind of perceive if there's a threat out there.
So Elwyn, you moved out, and you guys see on the ground in front of you this kind of litany of gang members that you guys had walked past as you walk in. A lot of them are on the ground dead. A lot of them in this similar fashion before. And you actually see one guy right now who's going through it right now. He's like, oh! And his eyes are
misery.
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me a... actually, I would say this guy's not resisting at all. How do you want to do it?
I'm just going to kind of walk up to him and stick the light sword. I blanked on the adversary through his heart.
As you drive it into his chest.
May you find peace.
You stab him, his eyes burning. He's looking into your face as his eyes are incinerating. He just falls limp, and his body begins to almost the life has been sucked out of him.
Is Finocchio following us as well?
Yes, Finocchio is just running right now as he's panicked and after seeing all this. Actually, he's kind of half running, half super flying and speed. Yeah, using his wings to boost him as you guys begin to exit the building. Yeah, you guys, if you'd like, the gate to this compound lay wide open, and you can see there's probably 25 bodies on the ground in front of you. Yeah, and the thing is, they actually, go ahead. I won't say that.
I'm making a tactful decision, kind of tactfully, with me kind of in front as a more melee, letting Elwyn kind of cover with her bow, kind of looking, high up, kind of slowly making the way, hastily, but also cautiously, if that makes sense. Kind of walking towards the end of the compound, and I want to use the mental link to tell everyone that's lagging behind to hurry the fuck up.
And were they all wearing collars? All the thugs?
And the guards too. Alright, let's see what I got. Perception is... I'm not buffed anymore, so...
Did you want to make one too?
Sure, might as well.
4 dice.
I want to make
3.
perception for danger.
3 grand?
Yeah, I got 3. Hey, Max.
Everyone else is looking out, so Sirius
I'll
is looking
look
at
too.
Dennis Special.
Okay, so both Destin and Elwyn, you guys are both able to pretty distinctly see that all of these people have these collars on.
Do I see kind of like looking forward? I'm kind of looking for any possible threats. Like I'm assuming this is kind of a big thing in this area. Do I see like a mass of people that are gonna like hinder our way, or like city guards coming our way?
You see in front of you, you see looks like various like hobos and beggars and other people that would like spend their day kind of in the area around this compound. There's like probably 20 to 40 in the streets around, like looking inward as they've just been hearing this awful screaming in unison from like 20, 30 people. And as you kind of like walk out, there are all these people like looking at you, and there's a guy up front who appears to be kind of this kind of a haggard beggar siren, probably in his late 60s, as he goes, what
Nothing to worry about. Just you should clear the area. And I'm kind of like brushing past with like my sword and my dagger out.
Sirius is following pretty much right behind Uhtred, and he's just gonna whisper into his ear, "You think this is the cost of coming back?"
I'm gonna kind of like
this guy in his room, these people being screaming and running into the compound.
I'm gonna try to like slip away onto like more emptied part of the street, kind of like leading through, letting the mass kind of go through, hoping we can go somewhat unnoticed. Also, I accidentally dragged these dice out. Please ignore it. I just can't get rid of them.
Destin is going to the lady who Uhtred managed to save. Not Uhtred. Sirius managed to save. Destin's gonna make sure he keep her by him just to make sure she didn't get killed.
Okay, so I need everybody here to make me an acrobatics check. Okay. So this will be an acrobatics check level. Say you're trying to move giant people and move dexterously. I'm going to say it's going to be level 3. It's going to be specialized.
I got
Are
4.
we still buffed?
Yeah.
You would still be buffed.
I got 2, crud.
Okay.
Can Destin try to muscle through instead?
I have 1 respawn.
If you want to kind of bulldoze over people, you could. But you already made the roll.
Can I assist? Is there a way I can assist him? So I got a 4. Is there any way that Uhtred can kind of assist by maybe brushing people aside?
You guys are kind of separate right now, and so as you guys kind of push through, and Destin, remind me, you dropped your you're strong, Destin, but this is 40 people moving in unison strong.
Right.
So you kind of move through, and you don't really get knocked over, Destin. Here, I got to make a roll for Elwyn. Elwyn, what's your acrobatics?
6.
Actually, can I at least assist her? Because she was right behind me and Sirius.
How are you assist her?
We would kind of have her close. I would have her close by, kind of tugging on her cloak so she kind of can follow my path, and maybe making the people move wide enough around.
Because there's so many people moving, you guys. Okay. It's more dodging people and being able to not get pulled into this crowd. You get a 3. You're fine. Okay, so then only Destin. Okay. So Destin, you go ahead. And in this amassment of people, you're kind of trying to move through as you guys realize that at this point when this crowd shout goes out, people begin coming out. There were tons of people in the neighboring buildings and stuff who were watching, begin flooding out as people begin vandalizing, and you hear glass breaking as this temple compound starts getting ransacked, and this kind of mob mentality takes over. People are just charging in to loot whatever they can. This super disenfranchised community. Destin, you go ahead, and everyone else is able to pretty quickly kind of dodge off to the side and get off the middle of the street. But you, because you're dragging this girl, and your mind is just a little muddled. You're not quite yourself right now. You feel like you're just not entirely in your own head, and you get caught up in the middle of the crowd, and people begin just pushing through you and bumping you, and you're very strong and you kind of hold your ground, but you're caught off in this middle of this gigantic wave of people, and before you know it, you're your orientation is kind of lost for a second as all these people, as you're trying to push through, they're trying to push you back, and you're almost getting pushed back towards the actual place. And as you can you go ahead and make me just a raw strength? Let's do it a lift check now.
Yeah, lift. Let's see. That's 7.
Let's see. Narrator question.
Yep.
Is he still close enough to use the mental link through Finocchio?
I would say at this point he's been pushed kind of far back towards almost the compound. Okay,
that is a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay, you are able to through this crowd. Instead of trying to like abide by them, you can just shove through them and like throw people out of your way, if that's what you want to do.
Yeah, Destin is gonna.
Like there's no way to like if you don't want to be carried back towards the compound, then you're gonna have to get a little mean because like there's just no way to move through a crowd going the opposite direction.
Yeah, Destin's just gonna with one arm around the girl he's trying to save.
No, so actually as you go ahead and now like you failed your acrobatics, that girl, you weren't able to kind of pull yourselves through that crowd. You lost her in the crowd.
Ah, crud. Is it worth going back for her?
No.
Yeah. Hopefully she didn't get targeted by Dennis. Great. Yeah, Dennis is just gonna stiff arm his way through and just push his way through the crowd.
You begin like freaking like stiff arming through the crowd, and like you're jamming people back, and like it doesn't matter if they're man or woman, you just kind of like tossing people out of the way as you're able to kind of make your way to the edge of the flow, kind of hang on to the side of the building there, and you see Sirius, Elowin, and Uhtred and Finocchio kind of like pinned up against the side here. Where you guys are right now, you guys are close enough to a building where you guys could like kind of step inside and get off the main street.
Can we? Is this building abandoned? Does it look like we might be able to have some privacy here?
It looks semi-abandoned, yeah. As you see that there are like windows broken, you see that there's like boarding on it. These, I mean, especially what's kind of crazy is especially around Dennis's compound, these buildings seem to be especially derelict.
I'm gonna kind of duck and. Oh, go ahead, Sirius.
Sirius is kind of to the party. Can we make our way back to the workshop?
I mean, do you think
absolutely
it's safe?
can.
I'm assuming
You absolutely can.
I'm gonna talk this Sirius as he kind of brings this up. Is like, do you think that's kind of even safe? You don't think Dennis knows where that is?
Well, he does have a crowd to deal with. That's going to be pretty difficult, even if he's invisible. Although I guess I don't know if that means he could phase through people or not.
I'm assuming that most of his traps will take care of them.
As you guys are kind of there on the side, two things are going to happen. One, you guys hear this hideous crack somewhere off towards the compound. This like horrible like crack and these screams of people. You also hear you begin to hear like screaming and general dismay coming from the compound. But people are not stopping flooding in. They know the wealth that is contained within there. And you guys see kind of down the street as you begin to see like not like many guards, but like one guard kind of like walking down the street. This looks like a lowly like beat guard as he kind of like just has like a club on his side. He's kind of like covering his eyes from the sun to see what the fuck is going on. And you see as he's gonna go ahead and reach at his hip and he's gonna blow a horn.
We need to get far away from here.
Agreed. Let's go.
What about what was the name of that inn those people we were traveling with have? Did you write it down, Sirius?
If you guys didn't remember, we'll have to make an actual check here.
I don't remember it.
Yep.
I do not have it in my very vague notes. No.
Okay, let me go ahead and make sure that, because I wrote it down here.
So all I know is Wendell is a G sailor smuggler. That's all I wrote.
Nice, but that is factual. He also makes good crab cakes.
You guys trying to find where Wendell is, or are you guys trying to figure out where the other inn was?
The other inn.
The other inn.
Okay.
That's far away from here, I'm assuming.
Sirius, please go ahead and make me a general knowledge check. This is going to be level 3 specialized.
Ooh,
Yeah. You got this.
It's been a pretty intense day. Oh, definitely get it.
Yeah.
Okay. So you go ahead and you kind of like searching back in your memory. You remember it's called the Maple Inn. It was actually Emma. So not Emma, but Emma, the innkeeper from the Driftwood Inn, the lady that you guys met at that fort. Mm-hmm. That Emma, she had told you that that's where her and Micah the blacksmith and their the two grandkids were going. So it's called the Maple Inn.
Listen, we can't go to them right now, right? They
Why?
helped us because we're putting them at risk. That fucking maniac is still out there. If we go there, that gives them leverage to use against us. We can't do that.
Why would it give us leverage?
Because he could kidnap and kill them.
And
Is there another place we could go?
What the fuck is wrong?
do you have any
with you?
better ideas? What's wrong with you?
Get out of the city. That's my fucking idea.
Mr. We can't get out of the city. You're more than welcome to go, but next time, how about you keep it civilized and not tear people's arms off?
Whatever. Listen, we're not going to them. It's too dangerous.
We've got some time. There's enough chaos in Dennis's ranks. I think this is the safest time to go. We don't need to dally.
We need a place to lay low.
We're not going to stay there long. We just need somewhere to regain our bearings.
We can find somewhere else. We need to find somewhere safe where it doesn't involve people who get fucked up with us.
Anyone who we meet is going to get fucked up.
Exactly. So we shouldn't expose them if we don't have to. Listen, we're a threat. All right.
Okay.
We have so much heat on our hands right now that I can't even explain it. We cannot do that.
Where's it on the map?
I don't know if Sirius. Did Sirius have a map of? Yeah, he did.
He did.
He got one from
Dennis, who was in fact a menace.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we're gonna let's pull out the map. Where's the Maple Inn in comparison to?
So the Maple Inn is actually it's towards kind of the more residential it's in between the residential district and the kind of restaurant district. As it's just it's one of the many taverns in town, but from your time, actually you wouldn't know this because you never really. It's an affordable inn, but you're much too used to these very posh inns, so you maybe wouldn't know the most about it. But you have a general sense on the map of where it should be based on the description that Emma, the innkeeper, gave to you. As you guys are kind of sitting there, Elwyn. What are you? So Elwyn's there. You guys are assuming you're going off. What do you guys want to? So Elwyn, you're just kind of sitting there. You're gonna go with them, or are you?
I'm gonna turn to Elwyn, and I'm gonna say, look, I know you kind of were tasked by your former employers who have seemed to have fucking left us, but you have just as much heat as us right now. I don't think it'd be wise for you to run off alone in the city.
I think you're right, but I'm also looking for my sister, so it's really, I'm just trying to get to her.
Well, I mean, where do you? We can help you find her. We're also looking for someone.
As you guys begin to try to have this conversation, you guys see as there are in fact a kind of you hear the clip clop of kelpies as multiple of the guards begin coming through the streets, going settle down, you. There's probably 20 to 30 of them as they begin to come out and they're all making their way here. And you guys hear
how close to us are they?
You guys hear off towards the compound this horrific roar, like a monster roar, and you hear people begin to scream as the flow begins to kind of slow down a little bit as people looking and what the, and you see some people are still running ahead, but the guards are charging forth, seem very intent on that sound. And you guys see as one of the guards rides past you, he kind of begins to, is fumbling at his hip here, and you see he grabs one horn, this kind of normal kind of average horn, and then he looks around and he goes, "Captain, we need the other horn." as you see the guy that's coming up behind him that's on this very regal looking Kelpie, he pulls out this long, slender black horn, and he blows it and it makes this distinctive noise. And he says, "We'll hold on right now. Quiet the area and get this fucking rabble-rouse off the street."
I'm gonna look at Owen. Or go ahead, Sirius.
Probably siren, like nobility and military type stuff. Would I know anything about the horn that was used?
Make a general knowledge check. We'll make this a this is uncommon.
Okay. Should I technically assist with just noble then?
Yes, you can if you like.
All right, I will do that. So this is the base general knowledge roll. That's a 1. Glad I assisted. And then my noble is 7.
2, 3.
Wow.
Ooh, a 1.
Okay.
You would know that it's maybe a different subsect, maybe different force, but you're not quite certain what this long, slender black horn means. You know it's more of a higher threat level kind of horn.
Look, I'm gonna look to Destin. Look, I know you don't want to go to the inn, but what other option do we have? We don't know
somewhere
this
else.
city.
The wet district.
And you're gonna trust some random beggar?
Let's
Some
just
random
start.
thief?
As you see these guards
Yes, sir.
beginning to come over towards you guys on his Kelpie, and he has like this club in his hand, and he's like bashing people and like whacking people on the head and like, "Get off the street, close the street."
I'm gonna look at him and go, "We're on the way, sir. We're leaving." As we kind of walk like straight forward, away from where he's at.
Okay, you guys begin going the opposite direction as you see people. There's kind of this mid-flux of, there's some people standing around, there's people running in, there's people that are beginning to run out of the building. One dude is missing his fucking arm, but on the other hand, he has this gigantic like assortment of necklaces like around his left arm, and he's just like, ha, he's like cackling, but his arm is just like ripped apart.
I'm gonna kind of, as we're kind of making a little bit of haste, I'm gonna look to Destin. Look, we can't go someplace freaking Dennis would know. He knows this area. And you may not have cared about
district.
Dipper.
We can't put them in danger, all right? They did us a good turn. We have to do the same for them. For all we know, he's tracking us. The guy can fucking teleport on will, apparently.
That's not that wild. We forgot that we also know someone that can do that.
Yeah, exactly. Doesn't mean he's not still around us. For all I know, he's watching us. We went invisible back there. Who says he can't do that? Apparently, he can come back from the fucking dead. Nothing's off the table.
That's fine. I can come back from the dead.
Can you go invisible at will? Apparently, he can because he just did it.
I mean, yeah.
Listen, I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit what you can do, Uhtred. You're fucking weird right now. Listen, we can't put those people in danger. Simple as.
You shut up. You lost control.
Scar is gonna come up, and he's going to take.
So we're moving.
So, but are you guys moving through the streets away from the crowd?
Yeah, we're leaving.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're leaving.
You guys
and
are on
arguing
the
at
street
same
though, right?
time. Yes.
So the guards are telling you guys to get off the streets to get into the buildings. So as you guys are
Okay.
making your way that way, she is like one of these guards, like two of these guards, kind of with like this like kind of siren. They have this kind of deep blue gambeson. And these kind of fine or ornamental, like silver, plate armor, not plate armor, but it's more of like half plate, and like these little like silver plated, not silver plate, but like steel caps, and each of them in their hand kind of has these like heavy clubs with like these kind of riveted like iron stubbles on them, and they begin coming towards you, and as they see you guys are screaming, they're gonna like one of them is gonna go ahead. He's going to look at whoever the biggest looking guy is, and he's seeing you guys having this argument. He's going to go ahead and from kind of like their side, he's going to like check you in your shoulder with this club, like with both hands on it, and he's going to shove you back towards the building. He says, "Get off the street now." And the other guy's going to come forward, and he's going to do the same thing to you, Uhtred. He's going to jam you back against the building. He says, "Zoid, get off the streets."
Okay. I'm going to put my hands up and kind of walk inside this building I'm assuming is emptied.
You guys hear this way off. saying, you guys have gone far enough up the street now where you can't really see what's going on, but there is like the sound of like you hear some Feldcrafts being shot, and you hear screams and like orders being given.
I'm gonna walk inside the building just because I don't want to deal with the guards.
You guys
And I'm gonna kind of.
pop into this building here, and this one guard is kind of pushed up against you, Dustin. He's kind of looking. He goes, "I said, get off the street, big fat idiot! What you gonna swing?"
He doesn't just shove him back and walks towards the building.
You shot
Oh my gosh.
I'm ill-tempered.
and begin to swing at you.
I'm gonna rush out. And go, sir. I'm sure it could all be forgiven. Name your price. Name your price.
You are Dustin, in like a shoulder blade. Here, let me just see here.
Hang
Hold on.
Combat roll time. I'm wearing plate. I'm wearing the plate. Wait, what do you mean, like my chest plate?
What's your
Yeah,
armor
yeah.
level?
What's your armor level?
My armor level is. One second, I guess it's right here. Shit, I haven't actually used my armor level for so long because we so rarely take damage.
Oh shit, we're buffed still, aren't we?
No, I'm not buffed. I dropped my buff.
Oh god, I'm buffed. That's not good.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm gonna be taken as a spy.
Okay, so let's see. 1, 2, 3. I have 4.75.
Okay. So he has. Interesting. Okay. And how much? You have two strength, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You feel like
As he swings on me, I want to open up the guardian shield to deflect it.
Interesting. Yeah, I'll allow it. Okay. How much more armor would that give you?
That would give me 2 more armor, so that'd be
Okay.
up to 6.75.
So he goes ahead, and he is going to go ahead, and he's gonna like do a flurry of blows. The first one is gonna connect and smack you in your kind of in like your upper collarbone area, and with all of your and this guy. Okay, this is a full grown ass man. This guy is not like that much smaller than you, Dustin. He's obviously well trained and like built physically, with basically both hands on what appears to be some sort of like studded club, and you would know that this could like crack somebody's skull, and he's gonna bring it down on full force on your shoulder. As it does, you feel the impact. Your armor absorbed most of it, but just the raw strength and constitution of your body taking the rest. As he raises it back up, he's gonna swing again, and you are able to this time react to this. You pull out your shield and you deploy it, and as you do, it catches the shield. And actually, I'm gonna say that it catches the shield. Do you want to try to catch the club between like the edge of the shield, like trap it, or no?
Yes.
Okay, as you do that, you go ahead and he drives it down, and you whip it out and you pull it out just in time. And this freaking like this crazy shield, this thing that's mounted on your arm, deploys in this spiral pattern, producing this like rock solid shield as it catches it in its blades. And it locks around. It doesn't chop it in half, but it like almost completely severs through this piece of like wooden club near the like where because you kind of hit the because he kind of is trying to swing for your body, but you put your shield out in front of you, and so it catches near the low part of it that's like wooden, and you feel it's like, and then you go ahead and drag your shield back, and it cracks his club.
Just like a wrench it to the side and breaks it off and says,
he's gonna like drop his club and back up for a second, and his partner here is gonna like grab him by the shoulder and says, "It's not worth it. We're getting cold." As you hear like these horns being like blared out from towards the compound. There's
go do your fucking job, idiots.
He's gonna like look at you. I'll remember you, and he's gonna go ahead and run off with his compatriot here.
Does he step inside?
Level 3 guard will remember this.
Level 3.
But Destin just like
You're making a lot
sneers
of
like,
enemies,
yeah, I'll
Destin.
remember you too, pal. And then he's gonna step inside with the others.
I'm gonna kind of, as he steps inside, I'm gonna kind of like shove Destin. Like, what the fuck was that?
He swung on me. I defended myself, dipshit. Didn't see me
give a
busting his
fuck.
skull. Could've.
Hey, you want to talk about me losing fucking control? What the fuck was that? What the fuck was that in Dennis's place? You're out of control. I don't want to hear another fucking word from you.
I'll say as much as I fucking damn well please.
Okay.
listen.
Okay. No, you shut the fuck up and listen. You don't have a say in this shit.
Fanakra is like just looking at Elowin and go, they usually don't do this.
You can shut up. Look.
Yeah,
Oh,
shut up. You
shakes her head.
No,
Cool it,
I was talking to you, Destin.
I'm talking to you too.
Do we have to stay in an inn? Could we not hide out in the woods or something? Isn't there another
Exactly.
option?
We can't leave the city.
We put quite a bit of effort getting in here unnoticed.
I'm sure there's an abandoned building or 3 we can find to hide in. We're not putting more good people in danger.
And we want to stay somewhere where he doesn't expect it too.
Exactly. We'll get out of the wet district. We'll find a nice quiet spot. We'll just settle there for a little while. Figure things out. We gotta read that book anyhow.
We can't read it.
Sirius, you can figure it out, can't you?
Well,
You know,
I mean, I guess I could try, but there's probably people more versed in this art than I.
Then we'll find them if we need to. We're not just putting random people at risk anymore. Enough people have died today for bullshit.
I just want our bullshit.
Oh, let's take this one
Exactly.
step at a time. We should.
Let's just act like this wasn't all like you were on board with this plan either. You like to act like you're holier than thou, almighty, but at the drop of a hat, someone making fun of your fucking dad, you decide to go ape shit.
Things got out of hand.
Yes, they did.
The plan went fine. We got in there and we killed Dennis. No one expected him to come back from the dead.
I'm not talking about that. You got mad at me. I also defended myself from a fucking threat, did I not?
Yeah, I didn't kill anybody unwarranted. Sirius
Oh,
managed
yeah,
to stop me.
yeah.
Thanks
So
for that,
you-
by the by.
You just stabbed some dude's arm through his chest, and then also went at a guard. He's just doing his fucking job. You could
Were we
have just.
not- oh, were we not-
He tried to kill Sirius.
Were we not trying to kill Dennis? That was
we
the
were.
plan.
I'm talking about the
and
guard.
it worked.
Okay, those people were trying to kill us. What I did worked.
What are you talking about? Who shot
The fuckers in the alley.
Those bandits who were completely defenseless on the ground. You didn't.
This point.
We're not
And-
screaming. We're like talking in annoyed tones, dude.
Yeah, we're not.
No,
scared.
school.
It's heated, yeah.
You see
In a random house.
you both stop talking, and you literally can't, like, you try to speak but your mouths won't move, and you see the masked man kind of like appear beside you and say, stop bickering, and obviously says leave. You guys hear this somewhere up, and you feel like something shake behind you. And does anybody want to peer out, like, back towards the compound?
I will.
You look out the window and you see smoke rising, and you hear like this roar as you see guards passing in the street. And actually, for anybody that would like, you can make me a perception check as these all these official military people start moving forward. The check level.
I'll roll it.
Okay.
What's the level?
That's what I don't have to tell you, because in case you don't see
I got a
it.
4.
Got
Okay,
three.
I got a
I'll roll for you, Elowin.
Well.
Thank you. I have a
Um,
question too.
Yeah.
So Elowin doesn't see, or she doesn't know the masked man is there, right? Because it's only
No.
in the other group members'
Only
heads.
in their
So she just,
heads.
so when they're talking,
You see them like screaming and like shouting at each other, and then you see all of a sudden like they stop and they both like are trying to say something but they can't, and that's right when like this detonation happens. Okay, Uhtred, you got a 4. Destin, you got a 3. Sirius, you got a 4. Elwin, you got a 4. Okay, so everybody
Sirius, I think Sirius got a 5.
So everybody but Destin, you guys see as in the midst of all this like blue and silvered armor, you see like 3 individuals sprinting unnaturally faster than everybody else, trailed by like dark like black like leather capes. One of them has this. One guy is like clad in this black armor, and as he moves through the street, he's stomping and moving, he's cracking the concrete, and he has this gigantic sword on one of his shoulders and this big, almost looks like a ballista on his other shoulder, and they're charging forward. And then the last guy, He's this kind of like extremely slender but tall guy, and he appears to have some kind of weird long pole spear that almost has like a katana blade at the end of it. As they begin running, and they're moving unnaturally fast. All four of you guys that saw it, except for you, Destin, would recognize, okay, these are fucking hunters. These are Brotherhood of Silver members. They're going to go kill monsters.
Oh.
And actually, I'll say this, Sirius, you probably understand that that's what that horn was for before. That was calling hunters.
I'm gonna look back, or I'm just gonna say we need to go.
You
now.
can't say anything. Your mouth, like you try to speak and you can't say anything because you kind of just gesture.
And I'm gonna
you
gesture out the door as I exit the door.
The masked man says, "Just leave."
I'm gonna
Sirius
run.
is investigating the abandoned house that we're in to see if there's like a back door or something that we could like slip into a back alley. And
yeah, it's pretty
avoid the
easy to find as you kind of like look around, and it's pretty obvious. There's just a door that's barely on its hinges, kind of cracked. You kind of have to like shift it to the side to get through, but within short order, you can easily move on to the back streets if you'd like.
Yeah, I'm gonna do that with Sirius.
Okay.
Yeah, just gonna follow.
So you guys go ahead and move out the back, and you guys just want to put as much distance between you and this place as possible right now.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's try to stick to alleyways so that we don't get seen by the guards again.
Okay. Who's leading?
I would say like
I should lead.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
look at
Sirius.
I'm gonna look at Elwyn and Sirius and kind of gesture forward.
Okay. So we can do. Who's leading right now? Who's in the lead? Who's directing everybody?
Serious?
Probably Sirius.
I mean, I could.
Okay, go ahead and make me a survival check.
Oh gosh.
Okay. Yeah, no, I don't think I can.
Well, we have a
really
map,
assist
don't
with
we?
You can assist with Noble
Yeah,
because
I
it's your
I
city.
assist
It's your city.
with the map.
That's good.
Just
Four.
hover.
He got a
Nearly
perfect
crit.
roll then.
Nearly a crit one.
Well,
do you
if
have
he did
nothing?
the
Do you have
Destiny
nothing in
roll.
survival, Sirius?
I have one.
Oh, okay. Shouldn't you have more? That makes sense, actually. So yeah, you're able to, in the stress of the moment, keep a level head, and you kind of think of like, okay, I want to go somewhere kind of random, but I also want to go somewhere that's actually safe and somewhat in public. So you decide you're going to head towards kind of the restaurant district, kind of towards the tavern district, but you're maybe not going to go exactly. Do you want to take people to the Maple Inn, or would you like to find a different one?
Well, I
Find a
can't
different
speak,
one.
so
I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to Sirius.
I know.
I'm not gonna go to the Maple Inn. I'm gonna go to another one which has a higher quality reputation.
Okay,
Which I
so
understand what that is.
you begin to make your way as far away from the Wet District, and as you guys kind of move through the streets, you see multiple city guards, like every single one that's available, kind of like sprinting towards this like growing fire off in the distance. And as you're kind of walking through the streets, you'll see like maybe the newspaper kid from before who's like has like a different like he's moved his spot. And he's kind of looking back and goes, "Oi, wait. He kind of like looks, you guys were the people from before. He kind of like looks, and he kind of looks off. Do you know what happened over there? As he kind of points towards. Actually, so, interesting question. Sirius, do you want to take them to, you don't want to take them towards the old warehouse either, right?
There might be good supplies there,
But we're rich.
but I mean, yeah, it's probably too risky, so I won't.
So you're going to continue on to the tavern. So you guys kind of just don't say anything to this kid as you guys kind of push through. And within about like 30 minutes, kind of sticking to the back alleys and stuff, you guys are able to make it to to an inn. This inn is called the Striding Seahorse Inn. Is one of the nicer inns in town. As you guys kind of come forward, and you guys are now here. As you guys are like been like sloshing through, you guys have these like big weighted backpacks on. As you guys kind of move
Oh,
like
no, I'm
through the
exhausted.
street, when you're further away from the sound that is going on, people begin to look at you as you move through the streets. Have you just all have like this like this like clinking of coins as you guys move like,
And I'm glowing, by the way.
and you're glowing, and people are like,
Literal
"Oh,
glowy.
dude, great lord!" Uhtred, do you want to drop your? So I'm letting you know, Uhtred, if you don't drop your what's it called, there might be some. If you're trying to keep a low profile, glowing is not
As
the way
more
to
and
go.
more people kind of say, "Oh, they're bright," I'm gonna start like, "Oh shit, that's right," and I'm gonna try to drop my buff.
Okay, you do. Okay, in
Okay,
short
Elwyn
order.
turns to
Go ahead.
Okay, Elwyn turns to Sirius because he's the only one who can speak at the moment, and asks with a confused look on her face, like, "What is going on?"
Just say that they angered some divine being for now.
Huh. She nods.
Oh yes, makes sense.
Actually make it to the Striding Seahorse, and you guys just kind of go straight in. As you guys kind of push through, this is a gorgeous establishment. This is much nicer than what you guys are used to.
How much is it per night?
So you go ahead and you walk in, and it's this building with like this beautiful white marble architecture. And as you come in, you see like these like gorgeous, beautiful like what would you call them, like receptionists, as they kind of like go, "Greetings, my lords. Welcome to the Striding Seahorse. Are you guys returning customers?" As they kind of like look at you guys, and they realize. So first of all, a couple of you, including you, Destin, you see, everyone who's close to him when Dennis's head exploded, are just
Covered
like
in blood.
covered in blood, like,
Oh,
in,
so that means me too. I'm back covered in blood. Great.
Yes.
face. You look like somebody completely different. You look like Caroline.
Oh, yes.
And they kind of like just look at you guys and go, "Are you injured, sirs? And do you
Destin just
cleaning?"
got.
I want to try to speak, but I forgot that I can't, and so I open my mouth and I just shake my head.
Destin's gonna reach into his bag and like take out like 2 gold coins and set them on the counter and just look to Sirius like, "Talk for me."
Oh, so as you go ahead and So one second, I gotta go make sure I know the prices here. Actually, it's on my document here. Let me go look. But
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure this is not enough.
What?
Yep, this is like this is a bougie establishment. Sirius
Okay,
took you to the one
dude.
that he would know about.
I'm gonna look at.
Sirius, where did you take us?
I'm gonna look at
Sirius
Sirius and
Sirius
Elwyn
is
and
gonna
go.
put his hand up to Destin so he doesn't pull out any gold. How much gold is typical for this establishment?
So let me figure that out. Give me 1 second, guys.
Destin, fucking Sirius took us like the frickin' Ritz.
I'm gonna kind of look at Elwyn and like try to hand gesture like, "How much is this place?" But like I don't know if it does a very good job, so you can interpret that as you will, Elwyn.
Actually,
But
just
I'm
like-
gonna,
He just does
Just
like
like
her
point
eyebrows.
hands.
money filled bag over and over.
I'm just gonna tap her and like point to my mouth and then point to my backpack and point to the keys.
Elwyn arches her eyebrow, like, "What are you talking about?"
And I'm gonna go like rub my fingers for the money symbol, and then pull up, point to the keys, and then rub my fingers again.
Uh,
I gotta go to the
Money,
bottom
money.
here. Let's see. Let's see. Special crafting materials, high clothing, produce, prices. Here we go. Okay, so this would be for the noble aristocrat. So this would go ahead. This would be per day. Oh, it's like, never mind. That's plenty. So,
Yeah.
so price here is 20. bronze coins per day. Actually, kind of
Oh
like
shit!
per person.
Oh god, so I overpaid by like
Yeah.
fucking 50 times.
So they go ahead and they look at you. I just remember, like, this is an inn. This isn't like, even if it's for the nicest inns, it's still just an inn. And guys, 20 bronze is all like, that's like a really nice, like real sword. And they're gonna turn to you, and they're gonna go, well, actually, let me make sure. Is that right? I feel like that's not enough.
I'm gonna keep doing my hand signals to like. I'm gonna go like, point to the keys, point to the money, and go like, you ask and point to the lady. I'm gonna point to Elwyn and point to the lady.
Is the masked man around us? Can we look around? Is the masked man here?
But yeah, so it would be 10. It would be it's 10 minimum. Okay, so actually here, I'm gonna say it's 20 bronze coins. So she's gonna go. It's 20 bronze coin per day, and extra expenses for the dining, of course, and laundry. You get a full package.
Of course we do. And
Look at you.
we'll add additional things to our package. I'm sure you understand.
Do you still have your hood up?
Yeah.
Okay, she's gonna look at you and kind of like look at you, almost like she sees something familiar, but then won't push too much, as they do respect privacy here. And she's gonna go, well, that'll be 1. She points at Elwyn. 2. She points at Uhtred. 3. She points at Funakro. 4. She points at Sirius. 5. That's 5 of you. Are you all staying together, or do you want separate rooms?
I'm gonna shake my head like yes, together.
We
Together.
do the presidential suite open right now. It can comfortably 5 of you, but it is quite pricey.
I'm gonna rub the money finger symbol like I'm rubbing 2 coins together.
Oh, how much it is? She's gonna go.
Yeah.
Well, to rent out the presidential suite per night with all everything included. This is our deluxe package.
Would it be called the presidential suite, or would it be called the king's suite?
It's good point. You got me there, Jake. You got me. Congratulations, I played myself.
Hold on,
the King Suite. All in is it's a small bit of 5 gold pieces per night, but that includes everyone.
Let's take it, guys.
But if you don't have the
I'm
money
gonna
for
give
that,
a thumbs up. I'm gonna give a thumbs up.
she kind of like looks at you guys that she doesn't really expect it from. Like, you guys look like fucking like hobo murderers.
Hell yeah! I mean, we are hobo murderers.
No.
She goes, well,
We're not hobo murderers.
we
Other
do
people
take
kill them.
payment up front, and there will need to be collateral.
I'm gonna
This
look
is
at her
like
like insulted, like collateral.
It's just like an incredulous look, like what's
heavy
wrong?
coin pouch, and on top of the 2 gold that's already on the table, he puts down 3 more gold.
And there'll
And he
be a
says-
10 gold collateral.
Oh, 10?
10,
Security
yes.
deposits. What?
As she says that, I'm gonna start like saying a sentence in my head and like waving my arms around like I'm upset, like, but nothing's coming out of my mouth.
Mentally, Dustin's gonna say in his head, he's gonna say, "Can we fucking talk?"
As you guys look at, and you just hear the masked man, you hear nothing, and you guys see like Uchtred's like just like gesturing with his hands and like trying, like he thinks he's talking, like this is outrageous.
Like this is in his head. He's like, "This is outrageous. Do you ask everyone to pay a security deposit, or is it just because?" And then as like I stop waving my hands, my hands go on the table, and I'm just like going.
So he's like, you tucker yourself out. Say that again, Sirius.
Dustin's like,
Hold on, nope,
do
nope,
like
nope.
the
Hey, Dustin,
fucking
wait,
Muppet
hey,
arms.
Dustin, wait, guys, we're too many people talking. Go ahead, Sirius.
You see, he just had like a very traumatic experience. I think you could obviously tell. Yeah, we had some business dealings, which didn't go over quite smoothly, and
Okay.
Destiny's just gonna look to Sirius like, you're making us sound like criminals!
Begins to itch.
Okay, I look around at everybody, and
As you begin to look around, you feel like your face is like itching and like you feel like your face begins to kind of hurt.
Elowen begins to scratch furiously at her face and turn to Sirius. What's going on? Do I look any different?
She looks at you, Sirius, and you see as her face is like cracking and breaking underneath her skin. Her hair color begins to change. Her eyes are like soup in her face as her face begins to reshift back to her old face. And you see as like these two fucking like receptionists just go. And one of them has like cucumber water, like cups with like cucumber water in them, and she goes, "Jeez!" She just drops the entire like this beautiful crystal pitcher on the ground. It shatters, and Sirius, you're just like, you guys are all looking at like Elowen's face, like it just breaks and restructures its face back into her original. 15 gold coin. Security deposit. I mean, 15.
And then I start waving my arms again.
Okay.
Sirius is just gonna look at his pouch. Does he see a nice gem that would be worth 15 gold?
So generally, I'm gonna say off the top of your head, as you're looking to a dark, you have to like spill it out and go search for it. You could very easily grab 5 more gold coin though. You have enough.
Okay, yeah. I'm just gonna put it down and say I don't want to bother with this. It's been a long day.
So she goes, where am I? Get back. It's been, damn it. He's trying keyboard as you see like this horse beside you. He's still she's like on the ground, like she's kind of like on like this, but besides this other woman, she begins to kind of like hold her mouth, goes, ooh, and she goes to throw up in her hand after seeing Elowen's face.
As I kind of walk past in my head, I'm forming the sentence, "Oh yeah, we'll get our security deposit back. They're probably just using it to pay for all the shit they break." As I'm kind of like pointing at the glass on the ground, and kind of waving my hands again.
You guys see?
He kind of looks at this and sighs. He's just like, "I'm done with this." He just walks up the stairs.
It's around you guys, and they're all like, no. Like there's like an old stuck-up like Duchess who's there with like her little like weird like boutique like weird like weirdly bred like crazy animal pet, like maybe it's like a I don't know, it's an otterfish.
It's your version of a chihuahua.
It's an otterfish. Like flapping.
Did she say anything?
She goes to Elowen and says, "That is not how a young lady behaves herself."
I'm gonna kind of look at her, all covered in blood, and what's the vulgar hand symbol?
Destin's gonna. Destin's gonna.
I'm gonna flip her off the bird as I walk past.
God.
I'm gonna like walk up the stairs behind Sirius, flipping him off, and with my hands in the air as I kind of walk up.
Elowen just rolls her eyes and tells Lay to fuck off.
Sirius just kind of looks at Uhtred and he says, "Well, you certainly have a tongue of a noble."
As the rest of the party is walking away to the room, Destin's gonna look at these two poor women who've like had to deal with their bullshit, and he's just gonna reach into his pouch and like set a gold coin down on the counter like spaced apart for each of them. And he's just gonna point to them and say like do like an apologetic hand gesture and just try to walk away. He's just gonna like hold his hand and just like, point to the coin, points to her, and then points to the other coin, points to the other woman, just says just like there's like a keep them. Destin's just like pulling his face in embarrassment, and he's gonna. I don't have any writing utensils. I can't write.
I can't. Even if I could write, I still couldn't write.
You see, there's people in line behind you. And she like this kind of like stop here. God, it's not going.
Destin's just gonna look. Destin's just gonna like. Destin is just gonna like very slowly turn around and look him in the eye.
Make me a communication check. You can
Can I
go
use-
assist this with mercenary.
Can I use strength for this instead of intelligence?
Sure,
Because I'm not talking.
sure.
Okay, so it's this is such a fucking cluster. Okay, here's the base roll. That's a 5.
Okay. yeah.
I'm gonna roll mercenary assist anyway because why not? So 5 plus 1, 2, 3. So 6 total.
So as you turn around, and you just like you have the look of murder and death in your eye. He turns around. This popular guy. He's got kind of this black slicked back hair. He's probably like 40 pounds overweight, and
Hold on,
like
wait, Jack, wait, hold on. Is it a comb over?
it is a comb over.
Okay, continue.
You see he's got like these clothes that are like trying to make him look slimmer. He's obviously paid a lot of ridiculous money for them, and he's beautifully and he's got this white beautiful like pants and like clothes. And as you turn and you stare at him, just with like the look of death in your eyes, he just like freeze and kind of begin to quiver, and you hear as he shoots his bear.
That's just gonna slowly reach out, put his hand on the top of his head, and just like flop aside the comb over.
As you do, flip him off.
No. Yeah. I'm just gonna like nod to him, turn back around, take the 2 coins I put on the table, and just leave. Go to the room.
As you so he keeps staring there. As he goes like back away, sorry, I'm so sorry. As he gets back up the stairs, and you guys
Are we
make
in the
your way
room
up.
yet?
So you guys make your way up these stairs, and you guys enter into this small small lifter, and you see the attendant here. He kind of like goes, "Welcome to the Striding Seahorse. What is your room number?"
I'm gonna put my hand on my forehead.
King floor. I don't know where that is.
The king room.
In as he kind of gestures inside the lifter, it's like this like old kind of arcane like elevator. Right in here.
I walk in.
You guys all kind of pile in, and he goes, "Please make sure to keep all your bodily extremities within the circumference of the lifter at all times. Please hold on." As he like flips this button, as this thing moves, like kind of like gradually, at first it begins to move, as like you guys look around, as it's levitating and moving up, as you kind of hear this arcane swirl, as this kind of like weird like hydraulics with water and using hydrocraft to lift this thing kind of pushes it up slowly. And you guys arrive at the top floor, and he goes, and he kind of like, and literally as you guys kind of pass up, you can see these other floors have like hallways and stuff, but as you guys come up to the top of this rather large structure, he kind of motions, and there's just this like ornate like circular room, and there's only one door leading from there, and he goes, "Thanks for choosing the Striding Seahorse." As he like tips his hat out.
I'm gonna
Serious.
walk off.
That just gives him a nod, and
Sirius is gonna try and see if he can find like his lowest denomination coin.
it's gonna be a fucking
gold.
platinum.
Or lower denomination, I should
You can
say.
only find platinums.
Bronze.
Okay, that's pretty good, right?
Can I reach
Yeah,
in my
I'll-
backpack and do the
I'll
same?
toss it to him.
You go ahead and you toss it to his thing. He goes, "Thank you very much, my lord." As he kind of goes and taps his hat, and he kind of does anybody else give him anything, or is that it?
Yeah, I'm gonna look for the lowest denomination coin I can find in my big ass backpack of coins.
So you go ahead and set down your
Oh
backpack on
my
the ground,
God.
and
That's gonna look over that, and then back to the poor dumb waiter guy, and just like silently sigh and pinch his nose bridge. He's gonna reach into his bag and take out another coin and give it to him. Another gold coin.
Okay, you give him a gold coin, and he goes there dumbfounded, like he's holding on his hat right now, but he's just enamored by the glistening gold and gems that lay beneath him. As you can see, he's almost like salivating.
I'm gonna snap to him, point at him, and then make the death symbol and point at my bag.
God. Being inconspicuous.
And he goes like he's like around, and he like looks at the gold coin. He's just gonna hit the lever and just let it drop down.
Well, that was lame.
Okay, you guys are on the top floor, and Funaka goes. What is he gonna say? Man, you guys really don't understand how to handle money, do you?
I'm gonna look at him and just shake my head no.
He kind of just.
Destin's gonna look to Finocchio and he's gonna send a mental message and say, "Well, listen, I've never had this much money in my life, so I don't literally. Also, Math Man, fucking let us talk, please."
You try, but
oh, come on.
You guys are locked out.
Okay, can we walk into the room now?
Yeah, sure. So you guys go forward and you walk up to the room. And you guys go ahead and unlock it. And as you guys kind of touch it, you guys realize like there's almost like a little like you're not sure quite how the lock works. You hit the handle. You weren't given a room key or anything, but you go ahead and you put your hand on it and click it, and it opens up for you.
Can I count how much money I have when we get inside?
Sure. So let me just kind of set the stage here. So as you guys kind of walk in, it is this beautiful open 2-story but internal structure of this like gorgeous, the most gorgeous bougie king suite you've ever seen. There is this full kitchen. There is running water as it's piped up using hydrocraft up here. There is these things that you stand in that drop hot water on your head instead of taking a bath. It's crazy. You guys can see you have this like beautiful view of the surrounding city around you. And even though Tent City isn't the prettiest city, it's quite a spectacle as you're pretty dang close to Castle Pitch Tent.
Is there a really ornate table in the center of the room?
Yes, there's this beautifully carved table with this like inlaid silver, and it kind of makes up this like symbol of the moon, the 2 moons.
So, I want to set the stage because this is going to be great. Give me a second. So, I'm going to kind of like gesture to everyone to walk over to the table. As I kind of look like, as everyone like gathering around, waiting for them, as I kind of plump this backpack on the table.
Sure.
I'm asking the party.
Oh, okay. I walk over and follow him and sit down.
Destin's gonna do the same.
Serious, if there's blood on any of their clothes, if like Uhtred's gonna like go and like sit down on like a felt chair, Sirius is just gonna put his hand against his chest. And he's just gonna.
I'm standing up. I'm standing. Okay. I'm standing up.
I'll do this to like the first person who tries to sit down is like all bloodied.
And
we should probably get cleaned up first.
I'm going to like kind of like gesture to Destin and like extend my hand for like an apology handshake.
Destin just looks at him and just rubs his eyes for a second, just nods and reaches his hands out as well and shakes.
And I'm gonna kind of look to everyone and kind of like that like if someone who's never had money or like a criminal has just pulled a heist off and he's trying to show like his spoils. That's kind of how Uhtred looks right now, because this almost brings him back to like the old days, and he's just gonna like slowly start dumping the bag onto the table so we can count the money.
You've been dumping out this money, and this is more money than you've probably ever seen in your entire life.
As he does that, Destin's gonna like hold up a hand and like say like pause for a second. And he's gonna look over to Sirius and he's gonna like mime a book opening.
Sirius will find the Dennis's ledger and he's gonna start. Well, yeah. So I guess we weren't able to basically read it there, but Sirius is gonna see if there's like a memo pad or something in the room, and he'll basically take that with whatever pens provided. Whoa, music change. And I'll also pull out the tome. He's just gonna open them side by side, and he's gonna like start trying to decipher this.
Interesting. Okay. So, for a second there, Destin, you cough, and you realize, wait, I can't talk yet.
Oh, shit.
Curious. You guys gotta hear. Is take the book with you to a room and go to sleep.
Sirius will kind of close the book, put the memo pad away as he started writing something. And then he's gonna probably wash up and then do as the masked man says.
So everyone collectively kind of go and like all go use your
Yeah.
rooms and get clean.
Yeah. Were
definitely.
we
Yeah.
able to count the money first?
You can do that first if you wanted to. Who wants to do what
No,
first? So wait, hold on.
I'm gonna put-
Hold on, 1 second. Elwyn, what do you want to do?
I'll get washed up.
So you're not covered in blood, but you've been like kind of living out of a backpack on the city streets, searching for the past like 2 months. So you haven't been exactly like you probably kind of reek and probably could really use a shower.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and stand under this hot waterfall for a while.
So you go into your room, and it is the most magical experience you've had in your entire life. It is superb as you take your first ever shower.
It's also a
Okay.
good time for me to gather my thoughts since I'm with a completely different group.
Yeah. So you kind of begin to think and go over like thinking about how what happened today does any of it relate to your sister and where she could be. But we'll leave that for a little bit later. As everybody else, Fanakrio goes off and like slams the door behind him and begins like pull off his clothes. He's doing his thing in his room. How about you, Uhtred?
I'm gonna go to my room, pack the bag back up, and kind of go to my room, kind of wash up, and kind of just sit down and contemplate before kind of laying down, like looking at my necklace and thinking about Dipper and just like kind of thinking about the freak out that both me and Destin kind of had and just like what that kind of means, and just kind of like contemplating the group at this point as we've now lost a member, and just kind of contemplating the masked man's words about how I would outlast everyone I've known.
Curious? How about you?
Yeah, so Sirius is kind of taking his standard old shower.
Yeah,
And once he's done with that,
you're used to these.
yeah, he's more used to this. He kind of sighs a bit of a breath of relief because this is kind of a little bit more in familiar territory. But like the whole process of getting to the room kind of makes him wince a little bit. And he just kind of mutters under his breath. Hopefully, we didn't make too much of a scene. And then he'll open up his journal and he'll take his notes before drifting off to sleep.
Okay, and Destin?
Destin is just gonna walk into his room, gonna take off his armor, and just before even tonight, he's probably gonna take a shower for the first little while. He's just gonna walk to his bed and sit down and just put his face in his hands and just think, try to relax.
You all Dipper just kind of creeping. I mean, you guys all knew what you were doing was dangerous, and you don't even know if he's dead. But Dipper's gone, and it kind of hits you guys the reality of what you're doing here, how dangerous it is, and how the questions go through your head of, you know, if we had done this differently, would Dipper still be alive? If we had just done what they wanted and killed those people who ended up betraying us, would Dipper be alive? Would apparently those monsters have gotten off? How many people are dead because of the decisions we made today? Did we just destabilize an entire crime organization in a city? Who knows? Anyways, actions have consequences. So you guys go ahead and clean up what you can. Everyone, I'm assuming at this point, is kind of just like collectively like deciding like we're just gonna sleep this off. We need to rest. And
Yes.
yeah, so Destin, Sirius, Uhtred, and Finacrio, as you guys begin to drift off to sleep, you guys feel the familiar feeling of the dream. 1 second.
Because they can hear me.
What?
I know.
It's
That's what I
whispering.
said. I was whispering because you could hear me. Sorry. Continue.
Okay.
It says I'm waiting on GM.
Yeah, I'm dragging you guys over here. Let me drag everybody out. We have Destin.
This is the first dream in a long time.
Somebody over here. You guys begin to wake up on the wake up and yeah, you guys look around. You see the masked man kind of like just leaning up against the throne here. He's got a red book in his hands as he kind of looks down and says, "Oh good, you're all here. Fine work today," as he's kind of piecing through it.
Can you make any sense of it?
Of course, it'll just
I'm
take
gonna like
time. You kind of like flipping through it. This is a pretty rudimentary codex. It could have, well, you gotta understand that I'm sure our friend Dennis thought it was rather clever to encode it with a cipher that hasn't been used in thousands of years, but alas, I am a little bit older than him. As he kind of like flips through it.
I got a
What
question.
if-
What
What
he?
happened back there? Destin just nods
Yeah,
at
what of Dennis? What of his abilities?
Kind of like slowly kind of like ponders up from the book for a second and closes it. That was something I haven't seen in a long time. Well, not like that.
Was
Gosh.
he
Not like that.
like
Demonic?
Helena, a demon?
Like Helena, like the Witch Queen.
Hmm.
They're dabbling in magics that, as they progress down them, they will become undistinguishable from what you know as demons. You see, what you saw there at the compound, every time your friend Dennis, not your friend, that's rhetorical, Dennis was using his magic, did you see what happened to his compatriots? The life that left
Yes.
their eyes?
He was drawn from their laugh.
Exactly.
That's how he uses his magic?
The magic he
Kind
has
of.
there, it's it's demon magic. He definitely has made a pact with one of them. But he's quite clever. You see, I'm sure the pact that he's used in exchange for the power he has drains on him. But with those collars, he was able to divert where the draining came from. If that makes sense.
Yes.
I'll be honest, I've never quite seen that idea before. It's a rather good one, but yes, it is a form of shadowcraft, technically. That's what the demons use anyways. But it's not shadow. It's darkness, it's evil itself, it's malice, and they can bend it to their will. And
What about
it's quite powerful.
Dipper?
Dipper's dead, most certainly. Either that
What?
or he's being tortured for information as we speak, though I still exist in his mind, so they will get nothing out of him. And so they'll kill him.
At this, I'm kind of gonna like Slav squattish down and just kind of like have my hands on my knees and kind of just like think.
You see Finocchio
like
kind
that.
of just like take a seat on this the seat here and just kind of like hold his head in his hands.
Just like, ain't there something you can do? Can we talk to him? Can you connect with him or something?
And that each of your heads. The only reason I'm able to keep consistency between myself is because of Finocchio. Right now, he's cut off completely from us. If I were in his situation, which I guess I am technically, that version of me right now would realize that I must die for the greater good. I'd be surprised, actually, if I don't just kill myself or kill Dipper. Bite off my tongue, whatever it takes.
How noble of you. Sirius kind of.
I explained to you all the
cocky
risks
way.
of getting into this. He knew the risks. You all
Oh,
took
I
my
know.
powers when you wanted them, didn't you? But
And
I
I've
told
seen you kill your original body as well, or a clone of it. So I'm no stranger to what you would do.
Yes. I'm not judging you. This is for the mission. We all embarked on this path for a reason.
How do we listen?
But Dennis,
What he said? He said that he was gonna come back for us. And
he would try to
How-
try to torture Dipper until he can get any bit of information. You guys destroyed his entire compound.
how do we kill him?
I don't know. I suspect that if you kill him enough, that it looked to me like every single time he dies, it takes a tremendous amount of life force to bring him back. Not just one person, but maybe 10, 15, 20.
well,
So we have to
considering
kill.
the
Oh, you guys, don't you understand? You're all murderers. You killed 20 innocent people. Not innocent, but
Shut your mouth, will ya? That doesn't do anything productive.
just
Listen, let's just focus on what we can do.
Sirius just kind of
Alright.
looks to the party and then back to the masked man. Well, at least he should be weaker now. There's so much chaos happening at the temple, at the palace, that he's probably not gonna. He's probably gonna have to expend a lot of energy just trying to protect what little he has left. So I don't think we'll need to worry about him for a while. Hopefully.
depends. Yes, your friend Dipper he's dead.
Well, I'm gonna, as Sirius kind of says this, I'm gonna kind of look to the group and go, doesn't matter. He's not our mission. We're here for a reason. Don't you remember? Like,
Kind of like talking. You see the masked man, like his head is going to split. There's going to be two faces, and two arms will appear to his side from within his own body, almost like in a shadowy mist, and begin flipping through the book. Like there's almost two consciousnesses. One is talking to you guys. One is reading the book.
and I'm gonna say, look, we can't worry about Dennis right now. And if what he is saying is true, Dipper's gone. We have no way to track him down. We need to focus on one task. We can't be divided.
Read. Now,
And if we're going to replace Dipper, because he, we're down a man, we'll also need to figure a way to help Elwyn out, finding her sister.
how about that? Suspicion.
Hmm.
He's gonna kind of shut the book and kind of full attention. I believe we've seen it, the resemblance to Vexillia. Yes.
Yes.
That's You're kidding me.
Her sister, but definitely one of my descendants. It's very unlikely that she's not.
Maybe a cousin. I mean, I know Veronica or Lady Redguard, had a brother. Is it possible?
Actually,
She could be related.
possibly. That question in is not like a street rat. Regardless, I agree. I think it's worth finding information. For you must understand, if she truly
What is
upon
it?
herself, how do she has he points to Uhtred, and you, as he points to Sirius, arrived in Redwall. Vexillia and her little mudblood Kilroy would play in the palace all the time, and there was a daughter of, I believe, I forget, Velena was her name? His younger sister. She was always a bit of a, how would you put it, wild one. She got to a vampire, which that I was lowborn, but still we have appearances to keep up after all. And there was a younger girl named Ella. We play with Vexillia and Kilroy and what was the other little girl's name? I forget. You must understand. While privy to this information, I could only control a guard here, a baker there. I just made sure they were safe. But yes, if she is my descendant, then I would like to protect her. Though Vexillia is the mission, as she is the heir to our entire household. I want to share this information with her, how she would react.
My offer still stands about teaching me the miracle of sacrifice.
If I teach you to do that, there's no telling how that could play out. Can't you tell? It won't be long before you turn against me, but that's to be expected. We're allies now. So, Dustin, and you lost yourself today. Unacceptable.
I didn't even apologize for jack shit. I did what needed to be done. If I hadn't done that, we probably would have died.
But you tried to kill him, as he looks to Sirius.
I wasn't in control of that.
Control. So does that make you a hypocrite? As he kind of looks to Uhtred.
I can be mad at him and myself. I'm not above hating myself, trust me.
Kind of laughs. That was pretty clever. Yes, well, I guess as long as Vexillia is safe, it doesn't matter how many of you die. Kind of looks so serious. And as for you, I'm surprised that you've kept a low profile for this long. It's quite impressive. That hood is really serving you well. do you tend to do this the entire time? What's your game? Why not use the resources of your house? Though, then again, you Rosebloods always have been a bit of a freaky family, so...
Well, I wouldn't worry
just
about it.
Don't know what's going on in the palace. I'm not entirely comfortable using their resources because I fear that they might use me against Vex.
Well, I don't think you have to worry about resources after today.
But
Oh, what you have there. It's just all right. You can smelt it down.
Yes,
it carries weight, but you'd be surprised how truly worthless it is sometimes. But yes, it is. It will be an asset for sure. As he kind of thinks to himself.
I suppose I do have a promise. But
No.
I'm not sure
I think what you currently have done was wise. Though the resources at your disposal will be quite immense, but maybe it is better to not involve them for now. Who knows? Maybe they're in on it, as he kind of chuckles. Your kind always did hate mine. Interesting. Well, as he kind of sets the book down, I've read the entire book and deciphered all of it. Vexelia, she came through many months ago. She talked with Dennis, and in exchange for a lead on the cult's activities in the cities, she did a job for him, similar to what you all were tasked to do, but not exact, though she carried out her mission with impeccable efficiency. Makes sense. She's my kin. Though, I wouldn't have taken her to do something like that, but it's not to matter. Apparently,
what did she ask for?
Information about the cult, their location. From his notes, he marked how upset she was, how motivated she was to kill the people that killed someone close to her family. He must have meant her family and Veronica. He pegged her as quite unstable and easy to manipulate, which he did. For, of course, he got her to go do his business, and then he double-crossed her and went and contacted the cult and sold them to her. A trap was set.
Did it work?
It appears so, or else he'd be dead.
Where is she?
I don't know that, but we do have a lead as he kind of fends through the books. Whenever he contacts the cult, he heads to the docks. Apparently, he kind of flips through it.
Wendell.
No.
Oh.
No.
Good. I was about to say, he made some delicious crab cakes.
What's it say about Wendell, by the way? Could we get a scoop on that after this?
Like, pulls out the book and, like, he fans through it, he's decrypting. Ah, yes, Wendell. You'd be surprised what's in this notebook. It's quite fascinating. Yes, Wendell here, Dennis is actually quite afraid of Wendell. Looks like a man that you helped here, he knew Dennis on a personal level. You see, as he kind of flips through the book, Dennis was the first mate to Flint way, way back in the day. That was until Dennis did something that Flint couldn't forgive, and Flint took his eye. Wendell appears to be one of the first mates.
Well, what's this?
That is a lot more capable than you first assumed, which is odd that he's taken to such a lowly life.
Well, I'm not going to knock someone for living peacefully in retirement, but what's this lead on Vex?
It's that whenever Dennis needed to talk to the cult, he'd go down to the docks. He didn't write everything in here, but apparently there's some kind of symbol or some kind of... I'm still working up the the decryption here, but it's something to do with some kind of mark on a building that you can interpret, and apparently those buildings are fronts for the cult. Apparently they have quite the large presence here, and it looks like... as he kind of looks to Sirius. Dennis speculates that it's the cult that's trying to assassinate the Rosebloods, and that's why they didn't get to finish the job at the Festival of Sacrifice. Interesting. It seems like they're very intent on killing your kin, though why I do not know.
Well,
Sounds like
Kinda
I
like
should tread
ponders.
even more carefully.
Yes, but
I think-
why would he kill your kin? Thinks himself, you don't happen to have any long lost relatives or anything like that that could usurp the throne. If you were to die, he kind of found himself, who would take control? Interesting. But it does seem that the cult has connections inside the royal family.
Does it say
And
how he contacted the cult?
Yes, apparently he would go to these buildings, and apparently these buildings would change. He would just look for the mark. I'm assuming maybe some variation of the Cult of Amon mark.
Well,
Go inside, and I'm trying to read. Ah, yes, of course. The passphrase. We are Amon.
well, I'd say we don't waste any time and we go right now.
True, but the more you guys caused quite the commotion, didn't you? The city will probably be on even higher alert. That maybe the god presence will be kept to the wet district.
Well,
Interesting.
you know, but I think I'd be able to get. We'll be able to find Vex with this cult lead. As you know, you were there. What happened in Redwall before we left?
Anything on the Rosebloods in there?
Yes,
And
that's
if there
what I'm
isn't-
that's what I'm trying to piece together right now. Do you hear it? It seems like Dennis was speculating that the cult had deep ties with both your kin, the Rosebloods, though not the entire family. One person in particular. He only refers to this person as... It's hard to make out. The Crafter?
See your uncle?
His uncle's dead. So it couldn't
Is he
be him.
really dead though?
He kind of looks... We saw him die in the dream. Does your
True.
son... Maybe your uncle had a son or something? I don't know. It makes reference to a crafter who's within... somehow deeply embedded within the Roseblood family. It makes reference to... Oh.
What?
Maybe it's not that important to the mission. Maybe you don't need all the details.
Well, it wouldn't be too extreme to think that my uncle would also have a body double.
Thinks to himself. There's a mention in here of connections to the Dawn Empire. Someone deeply embedded within the... They needed... Realize what's in... This is speculation, of course. It doesn't look like he has proof, but apparently he met such a person.
Does it say who?
No. It describes a woman. That's all. Couldn't quite make it out, but he was quite certain that she was bright. Doctor.
Doctor and a crafter?
The doc. What was the doctor's name?
Kind of obscure face.
You mean like a mask?
He was yes, maybe one of those plague doctor masks. He
You
seemed to
mean
have
like the one that was in Felix's dream? And what about
the doctor serves this Brightkin, whoever she is.
well? Does it
Interesting.
describe what the Brightkin looked like?
No, apparently she hooded herself as well. Apparently there was some kind of whenever Vex was captured and the handoff happened, they personally oversaw this. They seem to be very interested in Vexelia and her mark. Interesting. Looks like maybe the Dawn Empire truly did set things in motion and started this war. That makes sense. Support the cult. Get them to attack. Your heirs disappear.
An excuse for a conquest.
Yes. The Dawn Empire does rather dislike the strength and growing prosperity of Redland, so it doesn't strike me as unlikely, though. To support the
So
cult,
you're saying that
a Brightkin.
the entire Dawn Empire is involved in this?
No, well, it could be a single actor. I mean, rarely these things. He kind of looks around. Oh, right. You guys don't know. Rarely these things would. He kind of holds out one hand. This hand does this, and he waves it in front of you. And this hand is behind his back. He pulls out a knife. Does this. And I don't tell you which is which.
I doubt they planned for the cult to get the Spear of Destiny.
Maybe not, but it just baffles me that any Brightkin would help the cult. The cult wants to exterminate you fuckers.
I don't blame them.
Neither do I. We'd be better off without you glowing bastards on this planet anyways. Well, I will continue to decrypt the book if you have any other questions.
I do have a question. How close does Finocchio have to be for a mental link
Somewhere.
where we can communicate?
Between 30 to 40 feet.
Because, as you know, there is one cult member that desperately wants to kill me.
Yes.
would
About that,
be-
it's interesting. There's no reference to this person in this book, which is interesting because if he was in town, I'm sure Dennis would have learned about this, but who knows where they're keeping the spear.
Well, I'm not saying he's in town, but I guarantee you the members all know who I am. And imagine what big of a prize capturing me would be for them. I was wondering, well, I could just go to the buildings seemingly by myself. It'd be foolish to think they don't have lookouts. And as long as somehow they can trail behind and kind of be close by, I can describe where I'm being taken. It's foolish to think that the cult would allow companions of mine to live. But perhaps
That's a mistake. For the second they realize that you're in the city, they'll realize they've been tracked. Now, you, as he points to Finocchio, you're too English. You were seen at the festival. They could have recognized you. But for God's sakes. And Uhtred, if it's true and they all do know you, then we can't have you going in. But we do have somebody that they've never met before, as he kind of looks to Dustin. And one other person that we could get to help, as he kind of like gestures out toward like the outside world.
You want me
Interesting.
and Elwyn to go into the cult compound?
Yes, just to ascertain pretend to be one of Dennis's lackeys. I'm sure that they're wondering what's going on given the extreme problems that occurred yesterday. And it does seem like Dennis does business with them and supplies them with an assortment of weapons, equipment, gear. Yes, that makes sense. They'll be expecting someone to come, and I'm sure, as he kind of points to, he kind of makes this fake collar appear in his hand. If you were to pretend to wear one of these, they would know for certain that you're working for Dennis and give you whatever you want.
For the shot. All right. Question though, you read the book. Does it say anything about all of us? Did he write anything about the party?
You mean his father?
I was getting to that. What'd he say?
A father.
Used to be part of Redwall's military. Damn good blacksmith. Good guy.
Mr. Schaefer was a bit more than that back in the day.
I picked up on that.
Yes.
Tell me.
It doesn't go into much detail, it just notes that he was surprised to see one of Captain Schaefer's children walking around and quite got
Captain?
off on. Yes, your father was quite a high rank in the Red Legion, it looks like. It also looks like, I don't know. Captain is usually a term not used in the Red Legion, it's usually a commander. Captain. Captain would be, well, maybe in different militaries or other organizations. Maybe your father wasn't part of the Red Legion. Or at least he had connections with them, but maybe not an official
Well,
member.
I mean, Flint technically wasn't an official member either until what he was doing was deemed good.
Yes. Interesting.
What if he was part of Flint's ships?
This is important. He did see about you sell you out by the way. He picked up on that you were kind of looks to you guys. Picked up on Finacrio being some kind of noble. He thought you were some kind of deserter, as he looks to Uhtred. And you...
I mean, that's fair.
He wasn't quite sure yet. He was going to ransom this one as he points to Finacrio, probably turn you in for the reward as he points to Uhtred, and at least kidnap you as he turns to Sirius. So maybe it was better that you betrayed him.
Yeah, no shit.
Anyways, I can continue reading this, but the night is long and it's time to train.
Alright.
If you have any other questions, of course ask, but I see it as a very high likelihood that in the morning you head to the docks. You
Do we
ascertain...
need to keep... Oh.
Go ahead.
Do we need to keep that book safe in the real world?
No, at this point I have it, and there's a copy of it
So
in
we
each
can
of your heads.
destroy it.
Probably not a bad idea. That'll certainly frustrate Dennis. But that means that we have everything and he'll have nothing, or at least nothing if he can't remember. I don't know, it doesn't seem like he probably has copies. Maybe this could be a bargaining tool. Maybe best to hide it somewhere. Give it back to Dennis. Actually, no, destroy the damn thing. I can recreate it if we need to.
Can he track it? Alright, so he can't at least track us down, but Wait,
The only other thing I'm wondering, with the collar, could you happen to tell what demon he's contracted to?
I think we all know who it is.
I can't quite say.
I looked at Sirius. Remember, she did say she would follow us everywhere. She knew where we were heading.
We train tonight. In the morning, speak to Elowin. Inquire about her sister and about her heritage. If she is who I think I is, let her know that we are searching for Vexillia. She might have a familial bond or maybe a common interest. We could use her skill with a bow for sure. We are down one person now after all. And who knows? Interesting, she looked for her sister. I wonder if maybe she was tied up with Dennis or something. It's something else going on here. Inquire.
I do have one more question.
Shoot. It's
I'm
kind of
gonna
like close
kinda
the
like-
book.
Point to the. I'm gonna like pull adversary out because I remember if we have it near us or on us, it like transports us with us to the dream.
Yep.
It's damaged. Do you have any idea how to fix it?
Oh, you need somebody with quite a bit more experience in runecraft to repair that. That's a very, very expensive runecraft. An artifact, even. To repair it would probably take somebody of considerable runecraft skill. As he looks at Destin, maybe you could learn. The lunk that you are, as he kind of like chuckles.
and Destin's eyebrow twitches.
Mind fixing that?
I can take a look at it.
Can't fix it, trust me. Anyways, on to training, as he kind of looks. Finocchio, as each of you is beginning to disappear, and unless anybody else has any other questions, he begins to train you guys at whatever you choose. For Finocchio, he trains, so whatever your training was, Dustin, what was your training on?
What?
Remember the skill point you chose last time?
Oh, I chose willpower.
So you chose willpower, and he teaches you like how to control. Like you decide that you need to control yourself better when you're in your hulked out crazy mode.
Sit under a waterfall for like 2 hours.
Uhtred, what do you trade?
I train in Radiance.
Cool. And then Finocchio is going to train in Minecraft. Okay. And at the end of that, at the end of the dream, he kind of reconvenes you and reminds you, speak to Elowin. Inquire about her sister. See if somehow we can rope her up in this, get her to help. And then to the docks. Find the Colt. Do whatever you have to do to get the information out of them. We're so close. Can you feel it?
I can.
Well, if there's nothing else, it's time to wake up. As he claps his hand, and you guys go ahead and jolt awake in your beds.
Is my money still there?
Yes. Okay. So, we're gonna do one thing real quick though. So let me change the music here. So, Emma, I have a little bit of a dream for you.
Ooh.
So, you kind of, after taking off your armor and your bow and sitting down for that and cleaning yourself up, your mind kind of races across, like, first of all, the events of today, as what you were trying to do was build enough wealth to have something for when you find your sister to get away from this damn place. You realize that you to get enough money in one day. That takes you somebody has their mic open. You would need much more money than you thought you could get this quickly. And part of you considers just kind of leaving these people and going to find your sister, though you suspect that maybe without some help, you're not quite sure that you could do what you need to do in order to get her back. And kind of various thoughts race through your mind. Maybe I can hire these people, but now they have tons of money. Maybe I can help them. Maybe they can help me. After a while, you just get tired and go to sleep. And in your dream, you find yourself in the garden of Castle Redwall. It's beautiful. Like, there's this beautiful shallow pond in front of you, and these carved old stone benches that line around this. And you're like this nice little protected garden. And you kind of witness as you see your sister like splashing around in the water with your cousin Vexelia. And this other little boy that kind of like just stands there awkwardly, and that like the other two girls are having to help him play, as he doesn't really quite seem to understand. Like, they're almost like teaching him how to have fun. And you kind of just sit there and kind of like you're taking in this moment as it's basically perfect. And then a moment later, you're at the place where you made your choice, and you see the carnage around you and the deaths of innocents happening all around. And you feel this like deep pull to stop this. And you see back as you draw your bow back, and you begin laying arrows into your friends. And very quickly, the dream escalates, and you can't even discern it from reality. And for a moment, you're back there, and all this is happening. And right before the end of it, you see as you like shoot an arrow into one of your friends and let them drop, as you like look at your dead friend's face, you snap back awake in a nightmare as you wake up in your bed in panic sweats. And there you are.
Elowen just sat there for a minute trying to gather her thoughts and to remind herself that it was just a nightmare. She's not actually there anymore.
Up and go up to the...
Yes. I think what I'm going to do is kind of wake up, ponder what we talked about, kind of grab my stuff and kind of sit on the table outside in the room.
You guys go on out. See that various people are waking up. There's already, it looks like this full crazy meal has already been brought into your guys' chamber. It's been left actually outside your guys' door as is this cart, and it has like anything you could possibly want in the morning. It has coffees.
I'll bring it in.
It has coffees. It has drinks. It has pancakes and eggs and sausages, and it's this gigantic buffet of food. And there's like powdered sugar, like pecan waffles, and just various delicious, like anything you could possibly want is on display here.
A loving family.
There is not that.
Is Destin awake?
Yeah, Destin would walk out of his room a little later than everyone else because he didn't take a shower last night and he had to do it today.
I'm gonna kind of like
Your blood, your Phil.
there's a security deposit. I'm gonna kind of
security department. He just kind of flopped on the bed and just passed out.
I'm gonna kind of walk up to Destin and kind of like talk to him real quick, kind of like away from kind of everyone else. Destin, you don't mind if I could talk to you for a second?
What is it?
Look, I'm sorry, losing my temper the other day. Look, we both kind of like lose it sometimes, but we can't do this mission without you, man. And to be honest, I quite frankly wouldn't want to. We spent that entire summer, or that entire winter, eating those shit mushrooms together.
Don't fucking say that. I hate... No, don't even mention them.
I'm gonna throw them in the trash. I'm gonna throw them in the out the hallway.
there
but
goes security deposit.
Perfectly good mushroom omelet.
I'm gonna be like, no, and I'm going to like, no, but
There
I'm
goes
gonna
security
kinda, like,
deposit.
look at Destin and go, look, we're not just traveling together because we have to at this point. I can say, no matter how much it would affect me, I would lay my life down for you.
Listen, I'm just worried. All right, you're having to use that shit more and more often. It's affecting you. I can tell.
I know it is. I can feel it myself. But in some way, there's a lot about my past that you don't know about, but this is almost a way I can atone for my mistakes.
Listen, atoning don't mean nothing if you lose yourself in the process.
That's why
Just
if
listen.
I ever go down that road, I want you to jam that fucking spike in my head and bury me 6 feet under.
Yeah, I know. Just don't make me do that. All right.
I won't. But
Good.
we need to talk to Elwyn and the rest of the
Yeah.
group and take stock of this freaking atrocity of money we have. I've never seen so much in my life.
We need to check that just to make sure it's not got something fucking weird in it. Maybe, I don't know. Let's just take stock of things.
So
You guys are all kind of seated until you see Finacro is already enjoying this mushroom omelet. He goes, hey, I like it.
is Elwyn enjoying a mushroom
Disgusting.
omelet too?
Ellen, what are you eating?
I'm eating pancakes
Okay.
smothered in syrup.
Mushroom pancakes.
No, ew. Heck no.
I'm gonna kind of grab like a bunch of meat and some omelets and kind of sit down and plink this giant ass
Jack,
backpack
is
of
there a
gold
prime
and
rib?
gems.
Yes.
Destin takes the
There's
entire
whatever you want.
thing. Destin takes the entire prime rib for himself.
I'm gonna kind of like start stuffing my face. I'm gonna kind of go. So Elwyn, if we're going to help you look for your sister, you're gonna need to tell us more about her. As I'm kind of like eating and then also drinking some orange juice.
Elwyn pushes the plate away because that topic just caused her to lose her appetite. She took a deep sigh and looked around the room and said, well, a few years ago, I was involved with this group of people. I followed them, I trusted them, until, well, you know, it doesn't really matter. The point is, I have to save my sister. I don't know what to believe anymore, but I know that I couldn't stand by them and watch them do, and be involved with what they were doing. And I have to get my sister away from that.
What does your sister look like?
She's really young, so she's still pretty young and impressionable. She's 12. She's got red hair like me. It's straight hair though. She has straight red hair. She has blue eyes, and really, those are the distinctive features. I don't really know how else to describe her look. She's slender. But yeah, I really worry for her because up until that point, I thought what we were doing was good, and now my perspective's completely changed.
Well, you know, I'm sorry, but I gotta ask. You look like someone we know, like almost 100%.
What's your last name?
Yes, thank you, Dustin. What's your last name?
It's Lovelace.
Okay. Are you any way related to
The Red
the
Garden.
Reddingtons? The Reddingtons?
I think it's right. They call the Reddingtons now.
Yes.
How do you know the Reddingtons?
Well, me and Sirius kind of. Well, we all met Vex when we went to Redguard to get treated for the plague, or the spore, and I kind of stuck around as, you know, my last name's Storm, so I'm an orphan.
depending on your geographical location, if you're a bastard, so you don't have like a father or parent name, then your last name, if you're in like the Dawn Empire, in your Crossroads, your last name will be Storm. If you're in Redwall, it would be Crimson. Basically, your last name, it's like an assumed last name because you have to have the last name, but it distinguishes you as a bastard.
Mm-hmm.
So, I kind of stuck around. Sirius, he went back to, doing noble people things. But I joined the Red Legion, and kind of me and Vex became close. I stayed with. I'm sure if you hung around her, you'd know who he is. Kilroy.
Mm-hmm. I know him.
I
knew him.
Yeah, I knew him too. Well, that's who we're trying to find.
Okay.
She's gone missing, and we've been traveling for what? I'm gonna kind of look at Sirius and Finocchio. It's been almost a year now.
It's actually closer to, I believe, a year and a half to 2 years.
Almost 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's been about 2 years since the terrorist attack.
Yeah, we were very close when we were younger.
Well, I promise that I will at least help you find your sister if you can help us find Vex. We're so close. We've gone through so much, and back there, one of our group, Dipper, got taken. And for all we know, he's dead. We could really use your help.
I'd be glad to help. Thank you for offering to help me on my journey.
You scratch our back, we scratch yours.
Not just that.
Because, so, this group of people that has your sister, where Scratch said, where your organization? You took hold of a monster.
Yes. Yes.
And that's why we're in town. We're looking for the cult because we believe that they are detaining Vex somewhere.
They also have my sister, or she's with them. The last I heard, last I
group
knew.
You were with was the cult?
Yes.
It's like Finocchio kind of like just like is like invested and like look at you. You help them?
At the last moment when I saw that they were just killing innocent lives, I couldn't stand by that. That's why I left. Now I'm considered an enemy.
Well,
that's full sacrifice.
I was.
Around at you guys. You
killed Lady Redguard.
I didn't. I didn't know what was going on.
Listen,
kind of like goes.
Well, I'm gonna kind of like swallow and kind of stomach what I'm about to say, but who am I to judge? I knew
Thank
some
you.
members too.
Because I essentially turned against them. And you have to understand, I was at a very young age, I was trained by them, taught their ways. I didn't know any better. I still don't know what to believe right now because all this is it's just
indoctrinated
crazy.
you.
Yes.
Did you ever? What cult members do you know?
Did you need help, babe?
Yes, please.
So you would know a couple. you would know your father. You would know, and put that down on your sheet.
Mm-hmm.
You would know your mother. You would know your sister. You would also know a kid named Finna. That was your friend, and a kid named Bioka. That was your friend. They were about your guys' age. They're about your age.
Okay.
And they would have been like, but you would have seen Finna was the one that carried the explosive up on the stage and killed himself and blew up like the entire stage full of nobles. And remember,
Okay.
that was kind of what that was like that moment that kind of set you off.
Yes. So should I?
Yes,
Alright, so I can
respond.
tell
Yeah.
him- All right. So I know my mother. She's Velena Reddington, father, who basically brought us to the cult, to the followers of Amon. His name is Velstadt Lovelace.
So, Filston, do you
Did
know
you
anything
know-
about him? Like, what did he do?
He's basically
Yeah. But he was involved with the cult, right?
yeah. He's like one of the leaders. He's a high up.
Shit.
Do you happen to know someone named Bioka?
Do I?
You do, and actually, this is going to be level 2. This is
Okay.
for you, though, Elwin. What's your general knowledge at?
3.
Okay.
Are we in Theater of the Mind? Because it still
Yes.
says waiting on GM.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah.
You got a 3. You got a 3 out of 3. That was insane. It kind of clicks for a moment here. You did know a Finna and a Bioka, and they both used to talk about their older brother Uhtred, who was in Redwall, and that while they were in Redwall, they were going to try to find him and try to make sure that he didn't get hurt by what you guys were going to do there. Now, that would have been a private conversation between you, Elwin, and them, as it was pretty much forbidden to speak to anybody outside the cult, as they were all considered enemies of the followers of Amon. You would know, so, like, Bioka, when you guys were kids, like, Bioka was really kind of clever. He was very strong. He was a mudblood, and he was extremely motivated. He had a very kind of, and it took him a minute to warm up to you. He has an insane disdain for Brightkin, especially. He hates them. He hates them.
Well,
And he kind of sees this kind of camaraderie between Felkin, but especially Mudbloods, as they like usually are kind of the bottom of the barrel. But he especially hates Brightkin. But yeah, they would always talk about their older brother Uhtred, who they used to live, because they used to live in Crossroads, and Crossroads is the capital of the Dawn Empire, and they lived very rough lives. But their brother Uhtred, their older brother Uhtred, was like kept them all alive basically. And as he kind of says, "Did you know somebody named Bioka?" all that kind of clicks in your head, and you realize that this person that they talked about you on many nights and kind of like looked up to and worshipped is this Uhtred.
Oh. I did.
Hmm.
Are you Beatrice? His brother?
Yes, we were.
It's you.
We were brothers, at least. As I kind of like look down and like a lot of memories start flooding back. Yes, I was. They know the life of crime that we led.
It's kind of, they had to, as Bioka would put it, they had to do what they had to do to stay
We were
alive.
level 1 thugs.
And you would know that it was kind of what Uhtred taught them about the kind of the disdain for Brightkin that kind of that's kind of one of the reasons they decided to join the cult, was because they really did believe that, it wasn't fair that they had to live this way under the boot of Brightkin, and that there were those that could have so much and they could have so little. And that was heavily taught to them by their friend. That was heavily taught to them by their friend Uhtred.
Wait, isn't Uhtred a Brightkin?
Yep.
Yes.
What?
He didn't know. I didn't know. So Bioka and Finna would talk about Uhtred like a mudblood, like he was just a normal mudblood. So he's just like a normal human, basically.
Okay. So did they ever find out beforehand, before they died, that he was?
Well, Bioka, you know Finna is dead. Finna blew himself up on stage, but Bioka, your friend, you would have seen him steal the Spear of Destiny from the stage.
Okay.
But you haven't talked to him since the attack. Huh?
Does he know that Uhtred is a Brightkin?
You're not sure. You're assuming no, because you've never seen any interaction between them. So you're assuming that you're kind of... That actually confuses you. You could ask Uhtred about that.
Yes, you could.
Okay, Uhtred, does he know about what you are?
Yes, he found out around the same time I found out. See, I was on the stage, right next to Finna, when he blew me to pieces and cracked my skull open. I remember what it felt like to fly through the air, hit the ground. It was really... felt a lot of pain. Then I just felt warmth, and I knew that death was coming. But then I saw my mother, and she told me to wake up, and I woke up like nothing had happened. He found out the same time, as he was also there on stage. As I'm sure you know, he was grabbing the Spear of Destiny.
I see.
See, when we were growing up, I had no idea. I was always told I was a mudblood. My parents were nobodies. We grew up poor. And then I saw my parents die, or at least I thought they were dead. And they left me alone. I was alone on the streets till I got caught one day. And instead of throwing me in the dungeon in chains, guard took pity on me and took me to the orphanage, where I met Finnan and Bioka, and I'm sure he's told you, we did what we had to do to survive. It was more than that, though. Bioka took to it quite easily. We both enjoyed what we did. We were so angry as children. So much hate for people we didn't understand that I still don't understand, as I'm kind of like looking down and just kind of messing with my food. And I kind of push it away, as I've now lost my appetite.
And Uhtred, gain yourself a destiny point. Good job.
Hey.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Nice.
Okay, but you can continue. So, if anybody else wants to ask any questions, you may participate.
Listen, Elwyn, I gotta ask. I don't want to stir up bad memories, and I'm sorry for doing this, but do you know how the cult operates? Like some of the inner workings?
I do. I am well versed with their ways.
All right, then you're gonna be.
Well, they can't. They know her. They know she betrayed them. It'd be like sending me in there.
Well, does this part of town know? Or this part of the continent?
Yeah, where'd you come from? Where are you part of this cult?
Crimson Foothills. There's activity with the sect that was in the south, where you are now, but you were part of a very much so different cult. Like sect of the cult in the Crimson Foothills. You would know that during the Festival of Sacrifice, all these various cults from all around Terra, these different sects, these different cells of the worshippers of Amon. Because you guys don't call yourselves a cult of Amon, you call yourselves the worshippers of Amon. You would know that there was almost like a unification that was going to occur where they kind of saw this, okay, we're all going to link up, we're all going to unite, and we are going to use, there's some kind of base they have somewhere in southern Redguard near Ten City. More than that, you never knew because you never went down that way. You never joined the cult after the terrorist attack. But you do know that the cult kind of gathered its forces and licked its wounds after the terrorist attack. You would also know... Actually, I'll leave that for now so you can answer the question.
Okay, what was the question again?
I think they were asking you, like, they were saying, like, oh, she can't do it. They would know her face.
Yeah, I was asking where
You would also know...
Then you were in the cult, where did you operate?
People that would have known your face. Unless your dad or your mom or your sister, as long as it's not them, then probably nobody else would know. Like, your cult was probably like probably at most like 12 people, and 4 of those was your family, and 2 of them were Bioka and Finna. Finna's dead, and the other couple, like 3 or 4, you killed them that day.
Okay, so
You
I
shot them
don't
in the
know how
back.
it operates then.
No, you know how the cult as an organization operates. Like, you know the mannerisms, you know how to like signal that you're a member of the cult. You know the history of the cult, and you know like the different ways that they interact with each other. You wouldn't maybe know like every single little detail about this bigger cult that's been kind of formed, but you know a lot more than everybody else.
Okay. Well, and guys, would it be possible for us to find another potion to, I don't know, make ourselves invisible, or?
Let's say that with your group gone and Dennis's group in shambles, that probably isn't likely.
Yeah, that ship's
Yeah.
probably sailed.
But
What?
none of them were invisibility potions.
Well, I guess if we
Ooh.
go back to the workshop, there might be something there.
We do have unlimited money. Can I count my money before we look? Let's look.
That later. We'll deal with that later.
We need to
We're talking-
count this money as I kind of bring
Well,
my
count the
bag
money.
up.
Dang
Look,
it, guys. We'll do it
I-
later.
Look, we can buy whatever we need.
Exactly. We'll finish the cool conversation first.
We can finance this. Destin, look, first off, we need to outfit this whole group. Our resources are lacking. Our weapons could probably all get a good sharpening. We need to do some outfitting.
Destin's gonna look towards Sirius. Sirius, you know the lay of the land better than us. Is there a place in this town where we can get some good weaponry? Some place where the nobles used to go?
I'm assuming we're sort of in the nicer part of town, so would I know
Yeah.
like a place that's sort of nearby that we can
You
go to?
know, just a place. You would know there's like a particular district where they do a lot of the industrial, like blacksmithing and armoring for your guys' armies and troop. You would also know there are plenty of like runecraft, plenty of like runecraft. What's it called? Like shops and stuff that you could seek.
And I'm gonna
Weapons and
propose
stuff
this
there.
out to the group. Look, I know we each have our individual sacks, but if we're gonna work as a group, it'd be better if we pooled all of our money for the group's sake, at least until the mission's over. Then we can just divide up the rest afterwards.
Destin nods. Then, I guess before we do anything else, we should actually properly count our money, huh?
Yes. And then we get weapons. And
You guys count the money because we're almost at the end of time. And then we can handle
Yeah.
that between the games, so we don't have to do it during the game.
yeah, I'm
I
actually
wanna
gonna have to
how much
run
did-
here.
I want to know. Wait, just a question. Just a question out of character. How much damage would a 30-pound sack of gold do if I swung it at someone? All right,
Just put the backpack.
but it would do a lot of damage, right?
Like because you gotta understand like the density of that metal in your
yeah.
backpack. Like your backpacks have been kind of stretched and warped. And actually, I probably should have made some checks for them to like fall apart on the way over here.
Yeah. It's okay. Now we're here.
Yeah. as like we're talking about this, Destin looks at his sack and looks like splitting at the seam to say, we should probably also get some better traveling equipment, huh?
I agree. But narrator, I'm actually gonna have to run, so I think.
Perfect. Okay, perfect. Well, then what we'll do is to kind of wrap this up. So you guys are there, and I'm gonna assume that you guys will be counting your money, and we can start up again next time.
Can I at least roll a d20 to see how many gems I have in mine?
Do it next time all together.
I want many gems.
I want the big gem.
Perfect. Well,
all right, guys.
Thanks so much everyone for watching, and we'll guys catch you guys on the next stream. Bye, everybody.
See ya.